Hello and welcome to the Energy Connect studio at ADIPEC 2024. I'm delighted to have sitting next to me in the studio today, Morgan Eldred, the founder of Digital Energy. Thanks so much, Morgan, for coming down to the Energy Connect studio.
Well, thank you, CS. It's excellent to be here again.
Thank you. To start off, can you tell us about the evolution of the AI landscape, like how it's moved from a model-based, let's say, to generative, agentic and beyond?
Okay, well, AI has been around for a long time. And what is AI is obviously a question that people are asking. But I mean, let's look at it. I mean, you had the Turing machine a long time ago that could crack and decipher. And we built kind of expert-based systems, which were kind of models, advanced statistics that were based on rules. Then, of course, we went into our neural networks, our machine learning, our deep learning, and we're evolving with generative AI, which is based upon foundation models. So I think you can almost think about it that there's the robotic side of AI, which everyone is there, which is the physical robots that are going, and then you've got the virtual. How do we move? How do we connect with humans? And the growth has been massive, but I think the growth has been massive because now it's started to hit individuals in a way where they're being able to see it, communicate with it. And what we're seeing in the industry is we're seeing that companies, when when they go home, their kids are coming up, hey, I can do this. Hey, I've created this image. Hey, I can talk to this. Hey, I've created a song. And that's creating a lot of interest, and that's being moved back into organizations and businesses. And we're still only touching the surface.
Now, while we do that, what are the sort of struggles that you see for companies trying to adapt AI into their businesses, and especially within the energy space?
So I'm seeing, especially in the energy space, I'm seeing that organizations are struggling because they're focused on integration. And what I mean by integration, they want to bring all their data together. They want to have everything together, which is brilliant. But there's no vision. There's lack of clarity. They're letting the engineers go and engineer it. Where the way kind of real forward is to think about architecture. Where is that vision? How is that vision being executed upon at each stage within an organization? So we call it infusion. So where do you infuse AI in your organization rather than integrate it? So when you focus on integration, you're integrating for what reason? Why? And that's what we're seeing that's where the engineers do it. There's so many companies that can do and deliver really great technical solutions, really, really great. But the challenge that I see there is those are also silo-based. And it's without that lack of clarity, that lack of vision, which is understanding the industry, i.e. understanding how in this industry we can be efficient, make money, be safe, then bringing the domain experts in and the data scientists and the software engineers to make it happen. But that lack of clarity and vision, I think, is where organizations really are struggling to get the most out of it.
And how can technology companies and AI companies help support with that?
Well, of course, it's all, I mean, there's so many technologies and so many things out there. From you yourself being able to create GPTs that can go through your own personal history and find things, creating images, songs, whatever you want, you can do that. And I think the companies that are providing all these solutions, they can help tremendously with organizations move forward. The challenge can be is if you're trying to get everyone to come and do it for you, your kind of suit is it's unorganized, it's unstyled, you have lack of clarity. And that's where I see the real kind of challenge happening is with all of these vendors, if you take a mix match approach, at the end of the day, your clothing might not fit. Or if you look at your house, if you think about like architecting a house, your house is not necessarily designed appropriately. It's just this guy came, did this, that. So that mixing and matching creates challenges because there's so much opportunities for massive scale improvements. But if you don't think about how it all goes, and is fit together, you struggle. And yet at the same time, the dilemma is, but there's so much efficiency gains and we don't want to be behind. So we want to jump in to this AI bandwagon, the digital bandwagon. So let's take it on board. And the second part is, well, no, kind of wait and have a strategy. So I think organizations need to understand that there's many tools out there. There's many tools for many problems. It's kind of get the right architects, right? Get the right project management companies to come and help you deliver that. get the right tools that come in and really look at it. And you want to build the organization and your data, your organization knowledge, your knowledge of the environment you operate. You want to bring that in with the right partners to work with, but understand that you don't want to do everything yourself. And that's one of the things. As it's kind of, I would almost say, are you architecting your business around AI for the infusion of AI, where AI is truly infused? Because AI is, at the end of the day, it's people who are where the competition at the moment is around the smart guys who can train the AI, build the AI, and apply it with knowledge of industry. And that's where the competitive edge is going to be, is on the people, which is funny because it's the AI that's building it.
No, absolutely. That's an excellent point. But also, in terms of, as more companies try and embrace AI, what are the challenges that you see, like, for example, from the ethical side?
The ethical side. Well, one is we're still trying to figure out what is the ethical side of AI. Where is so everyone's afraid of black boxes. Everyone's like, AI's, it gets wrong, it hallucinates. Well, guess what? Humans hallucinate. We get sick. We do things. We get enraged. We kind of can lose our mind. So humans, we make mistakes. AI is going to make mistakes, but it's proven that AI is about 1,000 times more precise than humans at certain tasks. Now, it doesn't have the spatial ability of thinking that humans have, where we can connect different thoughts and bring reasoning to it. AI is very good. You give it a specific task and it can deliver excellence on it. Now, of course, what we're understanding specific tasks to be now are completely different. So I think the data side, we all that's what we know. So we all know there's data protection. We need to care about that on the ethical side. I think the other ethical side is, what is AI? Do we have an AI HR strategy, right? Is AI in our boardroom, right? And what does it mean when AI is there? Are we talking about, what is that? So, I mean, I look at the future of AI because we're going to have, our watches, our glasses that are smart, all of our software and technology is built around the form factor, i.e. my phone's this big, my tablet's this big, my laptop is the screen size is this, my browser's that. But people really now want smart information that you can speak to, that gives it to you, reason with it. And how's that AI going to move with you? Can I sit here and start speaking to my phone and it gives it? And if I have a glass, am I going to see my critical KPIs? So how do I run my business when I'm moving from place to place? And this is like, we're just thinking, what is AI? I think we need to think about how AI is going to roam with us. How is AI walking into every room I walk into? And, I don't want to have a phone with me all the time. I want to have that. And that's going to have, the ethical thing is that tracking location that I go to. How many devices is that going to go to? So if I walk in somewhere and they've got some digital signage, a screen somewhere, is my AI going to come up and talk? And I think those are the ethical things we need to really start thinking about. Is, so if we have AI here, how does it move? How does it move across devices, across countries, across organizations? So not just what's the data, what is it, right? What is and what does it mean for my organization? Some organizations may say, oh, I don't want my AI to move with me. That's too scary. I don't want to be driving my car and get smart reports about how to run my business. No, I just want AI to help me with planning. Okay, here. I just want AI to be my co-pilot on a desktop for my staff. So what is AI is one of the biggest things organizations will have. And there's all kinds of ethical aspects. Like, are we going to use disinformation? So forget if the information is good or the information is bad. Is there data that's being manipulated on purpose to get specific results from AI or systems? So there's a whole magnitude of these things. And I would just kind of say, that's where having the AI vision, the AI strategy, and then, of course, the architecture around how you want to run your business is important. And I think the thing that we need to understand is AI needs to be at the executive levels, because AI is like your people. It's going to be part of that HR culture strategy. And I think here at ADIPEC, seeing the growth in the UAE has been very good. All of the ministers that are there, chief AI officers on many organizations, because that's really what this needs to be. This is not something we need to put down at a lower level of the organization, because AI is here. And then it's, what do you want it to be?
That's brilliantly put. And I think at this point, we have more questions than answers.
Yes, exactly.
Now, looking ahead, what would you say and identify as, let's say, top two trends when it comes to AI and its evolution?
So I think the evolution that's going to be there is, I would say, kind of models talking to models. So when I mean a model, I mean an Excel file. I mean a Python script, which is a piece of code that's there. And let's say a predictive model, right? That could predict something like materials that are moving. And I think when we start to get models that could start talking to each other, that's going to be very, very interesting. Because at the moment in our industry, when somebody, an engineer uses Excel, he saves that file and he does some analysis. He makes a decision on that. That may go into a system of record, i.e., and that gets run. So what happens is you have all of these decisions based on data and models that go, and there's a stop time. It's not in tune. I think the next big stage is when we start having like an orchestra of models talking to each other. So making calculations and decisions in real time among everyone that's there. That's going to be the next step. And that's going to give us new insights, new ways of working. And then that's going to lead us to the next part, I think, which is what happens when your AI and my AI are talking and interacting with each other, when it's machine to machine. And I mean the virtual machine, not the physical machine. And I think that's going to be the next step, which is like, what's going to happen when that talks? Because you think about it, when I was younger growing up, who was the master of the computing world was who had the fastest fingers. You could type really fast, you move the mouse, you could control everything at kind of this speed. Now, if you had that, you controlled programming and everything else. So it was a physical part that's going. Now you're talking about AI that's plugged into your head, about thought, about how you can move here and there. So it's no longer about eyes looking at a screen and coding. It's more out there as a human, and that kind of physical, virtual, spatial computing, that's going to be a big trend, which is where is AI? Where do you see it? What kind of a little bit more of what we say what is. I think those would be the big two trends. One is kind of models and models starting to interact and correlate with each other. And then the second part is, okay, those are models, but those models become AIs, and those AIs talking to each other. How is that going to work with us as humans?
And talking of AI, which is the left, right, and center here at ADIPEC.
Yes, exactly. And ADIPEC, it's great. It's fantastic. You can see some of the latest technologies. You can see some of the best predictive kind of use cases from organizations. I think what's really refreshing is that you get to see the vision that a lot of companies are there, and regardless if their vision is the best or not the best, I would look at it like, how mature is it? And the fact that you have a vision means your maturity is a little bit ahead rather than is it the best one. So I think looking at it, there's a lot of sense of really energized energy here, which is with that. And I think it's a very exciting time.
Morgan, thank you for those sound bites, and thank you for your valuable insights.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on our social media and at energyconnect.com. I'll be back with more studio interviews from ADIPEC 2024. Stay tuned.